Yo, what's going on, your boy Ghost here, and today I'm bringing you guys another comparison video between the Mac-10 and Cold War MP5. And I wanted to make this video because the Mac-10 has been rising up recently, and I've been seeing a lot more people use it, and I decided to finally, again, give it another try in Season 4 to see how good it was and how it just compared to a gun like the Cold War MP5, which is right now arguably the best SMG in the game. And I gotta say, bro, this Mac-10, after using it, easily a top 3 SMG, and it has a very good chance of being considered the new best SMG. But before we get into that, I want to say, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 2,000, and we're about like 230 away, so if you help a brother out, that'd be greatly appreciated. And also, if you find this video informative or useful, please make sure to leave a like. Let's get to like 15 likes. I know you guys could do it. But yeah, man, with that being said, let's get into this comparison. And here we have the recoil pattern for the Mac-10, which, as you can see, isn't too crazy. A pretty simple pattern, pretty much just go straight up. And when you put on your attachments, this gun has very low recoil, and I love it because at range, it's just all-around weapon. It's pretty much all-around weapon, which is surprising though, because this weapon, in fact, has a way faster fire rate than the Cold War MP5. Yet they're complete opposites when it comes to recoil. And I was just surprised to see that the Mac-10 was not only faster, it was significantly faster than the Cold War MP5, which, to be honest, it doesn't feel like that when I'm using it. And I was just, my jaw just dropped when I saw that. And if you guys are questioning that, just know, true game data, that's where I got that statistic from. I'm not going to give you guys specific numbers, just know that the Mac-10 is significantly faster than the Cold War MP5. If you guys want to go try it for yourself, go to True Game Data's website, do the thing, and you'll see. But I will say, the one thing that the Mac-10 does not have over the Cold War MP5 is just the damage at close range. At long range, I didn't bother to look at, and even if the Cold War MP5 did have more damage at range, it doesn't matter because the recoil is not going to allow for you to be able to gun opponents at the range that the Mac-10 will. So, to be honest, those damage values don't really matter because the Mac-10 wins the range game regardless of what those stats say. But at close range, the Cold War MP5 is pretty much significantly stronger than the Mac-10, especially in the headshot department. And it's crazy though because the Mac-10 has outgunned me at close range even when I have used the Cold War MP5, and it just made me question if the Cold War MP5 really is stronger than the Mac-10. Because again, I've been demolished by it at close range, which statistically shouldn't happen. But I mean, if you take into account the fast fire rate, then I guess I can see why it happens. But man, this my bad. The Mac-10, the 180 that it's done for me over the last month is just insane. A month ago, when I used it, it did not feel like this at all. And now, today, this gun feels just different. And obviously, I know nothing changed. There wasn't no secret update, no secret buff, none of that. So don't even begin speculating on it. None of that happened. But for some reason, this gun just felt different from when I used it a month ago. And it went from being like a okay SMG to a top 3 SMG, like no debate in my eyes. For me, my top 3 is the Mac, PVSH, and Cold War MP5. No particular order, because I think any of those weapons can be considered the best at any point. Yes, you can make a case for the Milano being the top 3. I think the Milano is a very strong weapon, but for me personally, I don't see it in the top 3. Not because it's bad, it's just because I think the other 3, for me, are better. And then there's, the LC-10, maybe the Modern Warfare MP5s, but those weapons, they're good. But not, I don't think top 3 material. But this Mac-10, bro, I don't just think of it as a top 3 material. I could definitely see this being better than the Mac-10. It just feels so good. And again, the range aspect on it is amazing. I could beam people without any worry at ranges that the Cold War MP5 just can't even just wish to hit. Which kind of sucks because, if the Cold War MP5 has some range game, that gun would be just unstoppable. But the Mac-10 has that range game, and it is unstoppable. And man, if you have not used the Mac-10, bro, I'm telling you guys, I definitely recommend it because this gun is just a different animal right now. Or at least for me, it's been a different animal. The cost setup that I used, man, has not changed from the last month that I used it, and so I really don't know why it's really different. I've seen other builds on it, so feel free to experiment with the build of the Mac-10 because, there's not one particular 100% correct build. It's really how you feel with that build and if it's working for you. But yeah, man, with that being said, dude, the Mac-10, amazing weapon. And yeah, let's get into the Cold War MP5. Then we have the Cold War MP5's recoil pattern, which again, like I mentioned earlier, just a complete difference from the Mac-10. The only concept that is the same is the fact that it pretty much goes straight up, but that really doesn't matter because these Cold War MP5's recoil gets pretty crazy at range. Like at close range, I want, obviously it's not going to be that noticeable, but at the medium range to long range, then it's impossible. Even without using the barrel, which again I recommended to most people in my last Cold War MP5 comparison to get rid of, because I believe that with the barrel it has more recoil, and the barrel is pretty much useless because again, like I mentioned, long range game on this gun just doesn't matter. So a barrel, like even if you want it for range, it doesn't matter. You're just gonna get more recoil and it's just not gonna be effective. So taking it off, increasing your mobility and all that, like just way much more beneficial than actually running the barrel. So again, if you're still using a barrel on your Cold War MP5, I recommend you taking it off. You're gonna benefit a lot much more from it, and it's gonna overall better your experience with this gun. And this gun also has kind of suffered a pretty interesting journey to where it is right now. Just like the Mac-10, the Mac-10 has had its ups and downs throughout the career of Warzone, but the Cold War MP5 has been a little bit different because this weapon hasn't really been changed, aside from maybe like the attachment changes that has happened over time, but this weapon really hasn't changed. The base weapon itself just been the same since it came out, but only now has it really been given a chance in the spotlight, and it's been excelling. I think at the beginning of this season, or I guess like a week into the season, this weapon started to come out of the shadows and become the #1 gun. I started to use it. I started to really like it. If you take a look at my comparison timeline, if you guys go back to the first Cold War MP5 video that I made, pretty much from like that point to now, it's been my #1 secondary, even with the XM4 still being in. Because I don't know, I just love SMGs. I love the XM4, but having the AR as a secondary has never really been my cup of tea. I've always loved using SMG, just being fast, and that's why I love SMGs. They just allow me to be quick. Like, even if an AR still has fast mobility, it can't beat an SMG at sprint time and stuff like that. And the Cold War MP5 is just one of those weapons that, to me, feels really smooth in terms of mobility and all that. And especially since I run double time, I just feel like a speed demon. And with the Mac-10 as well, because, I use double time as well on that class, I decided to just go back to double time instead of using EOD, and I just feel really fast, and I just love that feeling. I love being fast, flying across the map, because I don't really use cars, so being able to run fast, or at least feel like I'm running fast, makes just a big difference. Now that sounds kind of weird, but trust me, for me, my experience, my playing experience, it's a complete difference. But yeah, man, this Cold War MP5 is an amazing weapon. I got nothing bad to say about it. Easily a top 2. Like, when I say top 3, in reality, I mean top 2. Although I didn't really rank my top 3, I know I said unranked, like between the PPSH, Mac-10, and Cold War MP5. I gotta be honest, like, it's interchangeable for top 2. It's between the Mac-10 and Cold War MP5, and 3 PPSH. And PPSH, man, again, it's one of those weapons underrated. I'm not gonna really say much about it because I do got something in the works for PPSH coming in a few days. So be on the lookout for that. But these 3 weapons are, to me, like the 3-headed dragon in the SMG department. I know a lot of people have been running the Milano, but I don't know. That Milano is kind of weird because it's been used as a primary and whatnot, so I don't really know where to like put that at as a secondary. Although it is really good and it does do some damage up close. And just overall, just like the other weapons, just got it better than Milano. But again, the Milano's a good weapon, but we're not here for that. The Cold War MP5, man, in comparison to the Mac-10, like I feel like both of them are pretty even in everything, except for like maybe the fire rate and the recoil. But like the damage, yeah, the Cold War MP5 significantly has the edge in the close range, but like if you take a look at just the whole thing in general, the Mac-10 just wins at range, and the Cold War MP5 is close range. So it's not like one gun has a significant advantage in the damage department. They have their own advantages at different ranges. The fire rate, Mac-10 wins that. Mobility, I think, in my opinion, both are very good. I'm not gonna pick one over the other, so I love the way they both feel. Recoil, obviously the Mac-10. Range, the Mac-10. And it kind of seems like the Mac-10 wins in a lot more categories than the Cold War MP5. But it's just that the damage aspect of the Cold War MP5 is what keeps it in just the conversation of the best SMG. Because, again, at the end of the day, range is cool and all, but that's not what we use SMGs for. For me, personally, I love using them at medium range. But that doesn't mean that majority of the people love using SMGs at medium range. So that's what just, that's the one factor that keeps the Cold War MP5 in the running. But, I mean, look, from experience using both these weapons, bro, they're both godly weapons. I actually can't sit here, like, this is one of the few times that I really can't pick one over the other, so I love both of them. this really just comes down to personal preference, and so that's where I go to you guys, because you guys will give me more input, insight on how you play with these two weapons and what you prefer. And so this is why I ask you, man, between both of these weapons, which one do you guys consider? Where do you guys rank them in your, I guess, SMG rankings? And yeah, man, try out both these weapons right now. I'm telling you, they're like the hottest things out there right now. You probably already have, so you don't even need me to tell you. But anyway, with that being said, man, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later, and I'm out.